Right, women's rugby. Wow, it's been a while since I spoke about women's rugby on this channel. I think that was during the Rugby World Cup, and that was ages ago. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, the Women's Six Nations is, for those of you who don't know, basically England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and France. Yeah, it's exactly the same as a men's tournament, and that's why I have an issue with it. Like, we just see England and France challenging every year. The women's tournament hasn't seen a different winner for what, 11 years? And that was when Ireland won it in 2015. Now, it could be said that Ireland were fortunate to win that year's Six Nations, given that England weren't on central contracts at the time, and also due to the fact that they had their eggs in the sevens basket due to preparing for the 2016 Olympics. But anyway, I digress. What am I talking about now? Oh yes, the Women's Six Nations format. Yeah, like I just said, it's just England and France dominating every year. And I think to myself, how could that be? How could the tournament be different from the men's side, from the men's tournament? So here are a couple of formats, one of which I've devised myself. Now, looking at the 2021 format, which saw two groups of three with a first place playoff, third place playoff, and fifth place playoff, I think to myself, that was a format that was different to the men's game, and I find it disappointing that that format wasn't kept on. Like, I understand because of like COVID and all that stuff that happened at the time, but still, I liked that format as it was something different to the men's game. But anyway, here's one format that I've devised. Now, my format is the league as normal, so you have all the six sides playing each other once. But here's where it gets interesting. Rather than the tournament starts and finishes in the spring, the league stage will be known as the Spring Series, if you like. And then in the summer, it'll be knockouts. And that's where it gets interesting. Now, this format of the knockouts has two versions. Let's use the 2025 table as an example for seedings of the knockouts, which I'll show you here. Now, format one of the knockouts is simply this. Using the 2025 Six Nations table as a guide, the knockouts will be this: 1v4 and 2v3. Simple to understand. So it's first place v fourth place, second place v fifth place, and the winners of those matches progresses to the final. Simple to understand. And so here is a graphic. So format two of the knockouts will be a bit different. Again, let's use the 2025 table as a guide for the knockouts. Now, this is how it'll be different to the previous knockouts format I showed you. First and second place progress to the semi-finals, and then third, fourth, fifth, and sixth progress to semi-final playoffs, where it'll be 3v6 and 4v5, with the winners of those matches going on to face England or France in the semi-finals, and then the semi-final winners then progressing to the final, which I'll show you here. But that's my take on how the women's Six Nations can be different to the men's Six Nations. But what are your thoughts? How can women's rugby be different to the men's game? Because for me, I've always believed that women's sports doesn't have to follow what men's sports are doing. Like, they can do their own thing. Speaking of women's sports doing their own thing, one thing that's come to mind is the Women's Ashes series, which I like as it's completely different to the men's Ashes series. I mean, the Women's Ashes series is based on a point system, which features all three formats of cricket. So they have 3 one-day international matches, 3 T20 matches, plus 1 test match, which I find really interesting, as it's not like the men's Ashes series whatsoever, where we see 5 tests being played. But how else can other women's tournaments be different to the men's tournaments? I'd like to know what you think.